I'm Sean.
And I'm Elena.
Hey, thanks for coming back and listening to us on our Airstream adventure.
Today, we're going to talk about
Airstream.
Our Airstream and the process. Everything that we have done over the past couple years leading up to this point. It's been a huge work in progress. If you have ever restored an Airstream before, you know exactly what we're talking about. And for those of you who have never done a project like this,
you don't know what you're getting into.
It's no idea.
It is very challenging. It is very, I think it's worth it, but it is very, very challenging.
If you have the right motives.
Yes.
I would not encourage anyone to do this if you're just looking to make money.
No,
you need to
you're gonna get frustrated and
it's definitely a project that needs to come from the heart, and you know that you're going to just be able to have your heart set on the right
and you'll have
reason.
something truly unique. I mean, it's not like you can go out and buy one that you're actually building it the way you want it, you're designing it the way you want it.
You get to make it your own.
Make it your own, and you're going to earn it. I mean, that's just the way it's going to be, especially what we found. Because we bought ours thinking it was just going to be, hey, we'll rip out the cabinets, we'll just do this and put some new walls and update the bathroom and this kind of thing.
No.
And when we dug it was in pretty good shape considering that 1970, it was in good shape. And there were some things that was already been done to it. But once you start with the demo process a little bit, we're yanking down the inside of it, and you start discovering things after so many years it's been neglected, and that's what we found. So, and it turned out to be for the best, I think, because it led into us doing some other things to improve it and
make sure it's safe,
make it safe,
and a good living environment for
exactly.
us. Mm-hmm. Since we're going to be, we're not just going to be traveling in this on occasion. I mean, this is going to be our home.
True home, yes.
At least for a while.
And in cold climates too. I mean, we're going to be up close to glacier, and
we're going to touch on that. But so the first thing that we started doing, after we purchased the Airstream, was the demolition. Demo day.
Yeah, it was fun getting all that out, but I mean, you start with the cabinets. We're just going to yank a few things out and maybe put a little paint, but then you start digging and you find rot, and you're like, oh, that's not going to be right, and I can't leave that. And then we start digging into some more mess, and it leads to other things. So, and probably anybody that's done another Airstream or is thinking about doing an Airstream that looks like it's in pretty good shape, you're probably going to find something.
I would say if it's like from the 80s or older,
and where it all depends on where it was at too.
And how it was kept, right? Yeah. I mean, if it was
covered up all the time and babied and pampered,
which most of them aren't, though.
you'll be all right, but
yeah, I would say if it's older than mid 80s, then you're definitely going to run into some.
I mean, ours is on the verge of being almost 50 years old. I mean, it's up there.
1970.
I know, right? I'd be a little worn too if I was 50.
So we ripped out wall panels, we ripped out insulation, we ripped out
the prefabricated caps that Airstream had put in on the front and in the back. It wasn't going to work with the way we wanted to redesign our bathroom, but we're actually going to keep the front one. It's actually going to be useful. But yeah, we decided to get rid of those, and once we did that, and we found our rot in the back, and that led to us tearing up subfloor. And once we tore up the subfloor, we ran into critters that were living underneath there at one time.
If you go back and watch our first video, we shared a little bit about that, and a photo that we took about what we found underneath the subfloor. And how was it tearing up the subfloor?
Nightmare. It's a beast. If anybody's done it, and because basically they set these Airstreams, the caps, they set those Airstreams on top of that subfloor, on where the frame's at, and they set the cap on top of that subfloor. So in order to get your subfloor out, you have to it's just very, very difficult. You're going to be
And we've
wishing
seen-
you almost didn't do it.
Well, we've seen several others who
They
have
do
been
a-
restored. I mean, they actually take the whole. Oh, there's Lucy.
a full off frame restoration. We didn't do that.
We didn't even have the equipment.
We didn't
to
have
do
the
stuff.
equipment and everything to do it, but in a roundabout way, I don't know if it would be easier. All of it's going to be a lot of work, no matter what you do. And once we did it, and say once you take that subfloor off and you've got it out from the base plate, do not move this thing a lot because it has a tendency, the weight of the whole Airstream will sag or do this and that. And that was kind of what happened with ours a little bit also, and we had to, jack it up, and it was a very good learning experience, but it's just stuff you don't hear about when you're on the internet and, what other people come across. And
The next thing we did after getting the subfloor up was we had to make sure that the frame was in really good shape.
Once we dug into and we got the subfloor up, we did notice there was some rust where it had been leaking for a long period of time. There was points on the frame that had been in dire need of some fixing. So we had a welder reinforce the back area because there was
It was mostly back where the bathroom was, because in our Airstream originally the bathroom was in the back.
Yeah. And I mean, there had been a leak there for a very long time for it to cause this amount of damage. But I mean, anything's possible. I mean, it could start early and just no one ever took care of it, and that was the case with our Airstream. And we actually had some rebracing put in because we're actually going to have a tub that Elena has to have in the back. So we thought it might be better also to have some reinforcement back there for the extra weight of the tub and everything.
I like my bath. What can I say? That's like my
Gotta
downtime.
have it.
The nest step, what do we do?
Like I said, we refinished. We sanded down the frame itself and finished it with a rust-proof coating. And then we had our electrician friend come and help us, and he did our rough end for our electric. And
Another thing that we did not try to do on our own
Yep.
is the electrical.
I know a little bit myself, but to the point where I want to have everything roughed in and done correctly, I just felt better just having a professional that's done it many, many times and just letting him take care of that part of it. But
So he came out for one day on a weekend, and they got that all done
roughed in early.
within one day,
Yeah.
thankfully, and we're very appreciative of Josh and his willingness to help us with that. So after we got that done, then you
Sealed and caulked everything you could possibly think of. There is, if you got an old Airstream, things wear out, things get old, things don't last forever, and then you're going up and down the road with these things through the years. I mean, you're going to get some cracks, you're going to get some leaks.
well, and the fact that it's curved, like
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like everything
square.
is squared off. You've got curves, and that just makes
Nothing
it more
is
prone
straight.
to leaks, I
Yes,
think.
yeah.
And so over time, wherever there were rivets.
Mm-hmm. We sealed all those from the inside out, and then the tip I picked up from that Hoffman Arc, they do that professionally, I guess, out in California. I was watching a few videos of theirs, and they recommended that for the spray foam insulation went in. So we sealed everything we possibly could. Every rivet was sealed, every seam we went over, and
that
just
took
to
a
make
while.
sure we did not have any leaks.
And then you'd think you had everything sealed, and then it would rain,
You'd always
and
find
then
something.
there was water
There's always-
still getting in,
there's
and we would
always
be
something.
like, "You've got to be kidding me!
Yeah.
Like,
You think
where is this water?"
You think you have everything
Ow.
taken care of, and it comes back and it bites you.
Like, I don't know how many days we spent, or how many weekends just trying
Tracing
to get
down-
everything
yeah,
sealed and
tracing
making
down.
sure that there was no water getting in anywhere. Because if water's getting in, then that is just
Yeah, that's a no-no. Things you would have never thought of where it could leak, it's going to leak. And I think that's
we
going to be
spent
the
quite
situation.
a bit of time just making sure everything was sealed, that there was no water getting in from anywhere. And we're pretty confident that we accomplished that. And then that led us to the next step. So once we felt like we had, all everything caulked and sealed really well, that led us to do the spray foam insulation.
The spray foam, yes.
That was the
kits. I think maybe there are a few good kits out there that you can buy yourself and do like a do it yourself kind of kit. I didn't use them. I used the kit and
you bought one off of Amazon, didn't you?
I bought one, yeah, and
that was
you don't
funny.
Get what you think you're going to get out of it.
We
so
thought this
just be
one
careful.
little kit was going to do the
There
whole
may be-
Airstream.
There may be some, that are good and it's going to actually, get the job done. But the one that I got just did not perform like I expected. I was very, very disappointed in it.
It was very
frustrated.
disappointing. It's funny looking back on it now, but
Yeah.
it was a big disappointment because we thought, man, we're going to get this done today. We're going to get it spray foamed.
I can do it. Yeah, I got this. I want to save
It
myself.
didn't even cover all in the floor.
No,
Like it didn't even.
It didn't cover. And disappointed.
So-
very disappointed.
so we-
There may be some good ones. I'm not saying there isn't some good ones, but the one I got was terrible. So
But we figured
wasn't
out
too-
real quick that day that we were going to have to hire a professional to come in and do the spray foam to,
by the time we thought about buying another kit, there was other reviews on this other one I was going through, and I was like, man, I started figuring out the price, and then I started calling about having it done, and I was like, well, I could spend just a little bit more, and I know for sure they're going to fill every cavity that's in that thing and fill it to the rim. So,
because insulation is key in these Airstreams. I mean, you're in an aluminum
shell, it's only 1.5 inches thick on the walls,
and
all the
so
way around. And then
whether you're in a hot climate or a cold climate, you want to stay cool if it's hot, and you want to stay warm
if
it's
it's not
cold.
insulated, you're not gonna stay cool. You're not gonna.
So that was why we decided to do spray foam. We thought after a lot of research, looking at different options, we thought that it would be the best in terms of insulating that thing and just really keeping the temperature and energy efficient even. I mean, so that was why we decided to go that route. And we had some professionals come in and
They sprayed it for us.
They sprayed
Yep.
it within a day, and then from there we had to go and shave down.
Yeah, I had them fill our floor basically from the bottom half. So all that, basically I got like 5 to 6 inches of spray foam insulation underneath us, full 1.5 inches all the way around. But when you do that, when you have it filled and there's something that went over or it's gone past what your studs were in the Airstream or beyond that, you've got to sand it down, and that is a very, very, very messy job. I mean, if some guy's got an awesome hint on how to do it, I wish I would have known it, but I got on there and basically people just sand it down, and man, you get that stuff everywhere.
It was a mess, and
It
that
was
took
a
us
mess.
several weeks.
Yeah. So after the spray foam, it was time to start putting in our floor again. And nothing is square, nothing is straight in an Airstream. It is, and when you're a carpenter, that you worked on homes and stuff, traditional homes, and when you start to go into something that is not straight and not square and everything's curved, it can be a nightmare, and it can be very frustrating.
But you said it did go in easier than you
It
thought.
went in a little bit better than I was
I
expecting.
think he was expecting
I was expecting the worst, but
I think
it still was a lot of work.
the longer we've been going through this process, we've been lowering our expectations because we just have come to find out that
You will learn. You will learn so many
Nothing
things,
is as
what to
easy
do
as you think it's
and
gonna
what
be.
not to do when you start digging into this thing. Because we did. There's a lot of things I would not do again, or attempt to do, or how to do it. I mean, there's a lot. Subfloor was put back in, and then we had my buddy, the electrician, had him come out and tie everything in with a converter and a power supply, and he ran all of our lights where we wanted our lights, and outlets and everything else. So we tied in all of our electrical.
And he put in our
after
fantastic
that home.
fan.
And fantastic. We had 2 fantastic fans put in.
One in the front,
which
one in the
we are
back.
very thankful for. And so
we got that done, and now we are finally to the point.
For the walls.
The
walls can be,
We just started that this week, and we just started putting up the wall panels this weekend. We are not using the original panels. A lot of people, I think, use the original panels. We have a friend, Jim Rawlings with Metal Air Louver, who is very generous to get us some brand new sheets of aluminum, and
we're rewrapping it on the inside, which is, I think, going to be for the best. Since we decided to do everything to, and upgrade everything, it's going to be for the best.
But it's also
it can be very challenging. Again, like I said, if you're not used to, and if you've got a traditional construction background, and things need to be square, it's just not the case in an Airstream. You'll end up coming across double radiuses on certain parts of the cap, and trying to make a metal bend to that.
And we're going to do a whole nother video. We're going to do a whole nother video talking about putting up the wall panels. But this video is really just to get us to kind of go over everything we've done up to this point, because we have not been really documenting. I mean, we have in photos and some short video clips, but we just started here with our YouTube channel, and we thought it would be a good idea to do a video and just kind of go over everything that we've done up to this point.
And this is not a video on like being negative about our Airstream, or hey, this and this, everything's bad. It's a lot of work, but you will have something truly unique. You'll have something that if you decide to keep it, it's going to be something you'll have probably for a lifetime if you do it correctly. And you'll be very proud of.
And we're really excited.
The more we get done, and just a few pieces going in, we're like, oh man, this looks so good. It's going to be great. Even after all the hard work and all the frustration, I believe it's going to be totally worth it. I mean, it's not something you just went out and bought. If you're going to go buy a new Airstream, you're going to be spending a lot of money. But you're going to start spending some more money than what you thought on this thing. But it's going to be worth it. It's going to be your own. It's going to be your own design. It's going to be truly unique.
Yeah,
I think that's where we're at.
Be another one like it, and we just keep our eye on, what we know it will be once we get finished, and how many memories we're going to make in it, and all the places we'll be able to go. I mean, we're going to have a home on wheels, so we will be able to travel and just really be able to have amazing adventures.
Hoping ours will be.
But we will do another video, like I said, on the whole process of the wall panels. So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for some other things that are coming our way. But thank y'all for watching. We're going to wrap this up.
All right. Take care. We appreciate y'all listening to us, and hopefully you didn't ramble on too long. So, but take care, and we'll talk to you soon.
Oh, and please, if you have not already, check us out on Instagram, our Airstream Adventure on Instagram. And please subscribe to our channel so that you can stay up to date with all of our latest videos. All right.
Take care.
See you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.